Ever feel like you're a walking paradox, magnetic yet mysterious? Buckle up, because we're about to dive into the fascinating world of the INFJ man's appeal. Today, we're discussing something on my mind, the undeniable allure of INFJ men. You know, those rare gems who seem to have this magical ability to draw people in without even trying? Maybe it's our intense gaze that made you feel like they could see right through you, or that quiet confidence that just screams, "I've got depths you wouldn't believe." Well, today we will unpack what makes these guys so irresistible. Whether you're an INFJ yourself, crushing on one, or just curious about personality types, I promise you're in for a treat. We'll explore everything from their enigmatic nature to their emotional intelligence, making you go, wow. Before we start, please hit the like button, comment, and subscribe so you won't miss any of our weekly deep dives into the world of personality types. And if you are looking to achieve a deeper understanding of yourself and your personality type, click the link in the comments to take our favorite free personality test. Now, let's dive into the magnetic world of INFJ men. First, let's talk about the enigmatic nature of INFJ men. These guys are like walking contradictions. Honestly, that's part of what makes them so fascinating. They're introverts, sure, but they've got this uncanny ability to connect deeply with people. It's like they're selective socialites. They might not be the life of every party, but when they do engage, it's intense and meaningful. INFJ men have this depth of character that's hard to match. They're not about surface-level chit-chat. They want to dive deep into the mysteries of the universe and the human psyche. It's like they've got this internal world that's rich and complex, and if you're lucky enough to get a glimpse, it's like stepping into Narnia. Magical, a bit scary, and definitely addictive. But here's the kicker. They're not just deep thinkers, they're feelers too. This brings us to our next point, their emotional intelligence and empathy. INFJ men have this superpower of understanding people's emotions, sometimes even better than those experiencing them. It's like they've got emotional X-ray vision or something. This empathy isn't just about feeling what others feel, it's about creating a safe space for emotions. When you're with an INFJ man, you might find yourself spilling your deepest secrets before realizing what's happening. They have this way of making you feel heard and understood, which is rare today. And let's be real. In a world where emotional intelligence often takes a back seat, an INFJ man's ability to connect on this level is like finding a unicorn. It's refreshing, comforting, and incredibly attractive. Who doesn't want someone who can not only handle your emotions, but also help you navigate them? Now, don't go thinking these guys are all feelings and no thoughts. Nope, INFJ men bring some serious intellectual stimulation to the table. They're the kind of people who can discuss everything from quantum physics to philosophy and make it all sound fascinating. Their minds are like Swiss Army knives, versatile, ready with a solution, and surprisingly compact. They've got this unique ability to see connections where others don't, which makes conversations with them feel like you're unraveling the mysteries of the universe together. But here's what's really cool. They're not know-it-alls. INFJ men are genuinely curious about other people's thoughts and ideas. They're not just waiting for their turn to speak. They're actively listening, processing, and building on what you're saying. It's like having a collaborative brainstorming session, but way more fun and potentially life-changing. Speaking of life-changing, let's talk about the quiet confidence that INFJ men exude. It's not the loud, in-your-face kind of confidence that demands attention. No, it's more like a subtle gravitational pull. They're secure in who they are, comfortable with their quirks, and don't need to prove themselves to anyone. This quiet confidence is seriously magnetic. It's like they know something the rest of us don't, and you can't help but want to figure out what it is. They're comfortable with silence, which is pretty refreshing in our noisy world. And let me tell you, watching an INFJ man lost in thought is like watching art in motion. Intriguing, beautiful, and a little bit mysterious. Now, let's dive into something that's at the core of every INFJ man, their authenticity and integrity. These guys have a moral compass that would make Captain America jealous. They have a deep-seated need to live in alignment with their values and are not afraid to stand up for what they believe in. This authenticity shows up in every interaction. When an INFJ man asks how you're doing, they genuinely want to know. They're not about small talk or social niceties. They want real, honest connections. And let me tell you, in a world of surface-level interactions, this kind of genuine interest is like a breath of fresh air. But here's the thing, their strong sense of integrity isn't just about being good, it's about continuous growth and improvement. INFJ men are often on a lifelong journey of self-discovery and personal development. They're always looking to be better versions of themselves, not for others, but because it aligns with their internal values. And honestly, that commitment to growth is pretty darn attractive. Now, let's talk about what makes INFJ men particularly appealing in romantic relationships. Their idealism. These guys are the ultimate romantics, but not in a cheesy rom-com way. They're looking for soulmate connections, for relationships that are transformative and meaningful. When an INFJ man falls in love, they fall hard. They're all in, fully committed, and ready to grow together. They have this beautiful ability to see the potential in their partners and nurture it. It's like they can see your best version and are committed to helping you become that person. But here's the catch. Because they're such idealists, they can sometimes struggle with the reality of relationships. They might put their partners on pedestals or have unrealistic expectations. However, their commitment to growth and understanding helps them navigate these challenges. One of the most underrated qualities of INFJ men is their listening skills. INFJ men excel at truly listening in a world where everyone's fighting to be heard. It's not just about hearing the words you're saying. They're tuning into your tone, body language, and what you're not saying. This ability to listen deeply makes INFJ men incredible friends and partners. They create spaces where you feel safe to be vulnerable and share your deepest fears and wildest dreams. And the best part? They don't just listen, they understand. They have a knack for reading between the lines and offering insights that can be truly transformative. But their listening skills aren't just passive. INFJ men are active listeners. They ask thoughtful questions, reflect on what they've heard, and are not afraid to challenge you, gently, if they think you're not being true to yourself. It's like having a personal cheerleader and coach rolled into one. You might be thinking, all this emotional stuff is great, but what about in the real world? Well, let me tell you about INFJ men as leaders. Despite their introverted nature, INFJ men often find themselves in leadership positions, and for good reason. They lead with a unique combination of vision and empathy. They're the kind of leaders who inspire others not through force or charisma, but through their unwavering commitment to their ideals. They have the ability to paint a picture of a better future that's so compelling that people can't help but want to follow. But they're not just dreamers. INFJ men have a pragmatic side too. They can balance their lofty ideals with practical action steps. They can see both the forest and the trees, making them incredibly effective at turning visions into reality. What's cool about INFJ men in leadership roles is how they elevate others. They're not interested in being the show's star. They want to create an environment where everyone can shine. They lead by example, always holding themselves to the highest standards and inspiring others to do the same. Now, let's discuss something that might seem contradictory at first, the paradox of accessibility. Sure, INFJ men are warm and empathetic, but they're also incredibly selective about who they let into their inner circle. It's like they have this invisible force field around them. This selectiveness isn't about being snobby or exclusive. It's about energy management and maintaining their rich inner world. INFJ men need much time to recharge and process their thoughts and feelings. So, they're careful about who they invest their energy in. But here's the thing. Once you're in, you're in. When an INFJ man lets you into their world, it's like being granted access to a secret garden. They invest deeply in their chosen relationships, offering a level of loyalty and understanding that's truly rare. This paradox of being both warm and reserved creates an interesting dynamic. It makes earning an INFJ man's trust feel like an achievement, something special. And let's be honest, there's something pretty alluring about that, right? So, what's the bottom line? Why are INFJ men so magnetic? It's not one thing. The unique combination of all these qualities. It's their depth, their empathy, their intellect, their integrity, their romanticism, their listening skills, their leadership, and yes, even their selective nature. INFJ men offer something that's increasingly rare in our fast-paced, often superficial world: depth, authenticity, and the possibility of truly being seen and understood. They challenge us to think deeper, feel more fully, and live authentically. In a world that often feels disconnected, INFJ men remind us of the power of genuine connection. They show us what it means to live with purpose, to love deeply, and to constantly strive for growth and understanding. Whether you're an INFJ man yourself, in a relationship with one, or just curious about this personality type, I hope this deep dive has given you some insights. Remember, every individual is unique, and personality types are just one lens through which we can understand ourselves and others. Now that you've mastered these 5 game-changing secrets about INFJ men, one more could catapult your understanding to the next level. It's a method only a few top personality experts are using, and it's gaining thousands of followers every day, but almost no one is talking about it. In my next video, I'll break down that hidden strategy step by step so you can see massive growth in your understanding of personality types and relationships. Click here now to dive even deeper into the fascinating world of personality psychology. Trust me, you will want to take advantage of this. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and remember, the most magnetic thing you can be is authentically yourself. See you in the next video.